We call them as we see them here on the Morning Wager, and I saw yesterday's show, and, well, it sucked, Mark Zinno. There's really no
Yeah,
sugarcoating it
yeah.
whatsoever. We really weren't right about anything. Uh,
No,
that's a problem. It's something
yes.
we apologize for. We
Um,
gloat, we dance, we boast when we get them all right, which we did a couple
yes.
days ago. We had, as a matter of fact, we had a winning show Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but Thursday was one for the
The,
old toilet bowl.
the gambling gods giveth and they taketh away. We were awful. It's fair to say we were SHIT. We're poo. It's
Yes,
gross.
yes,
It was
we
bad.
deserved, and Joe Ranieri was hitting us with the poo logo many times during the show,
Yeah,
and
we
quite
need
frankly, we
that.
deserved it.
I mean, look, we can't get them all right, but God, yesterday was extra awful. And
No,
I would like to tell you that I believe the Campbell Fighting Camels should change their name because they're not fighting camels. They should just the Campbell Humps is what they should call them because that's what they played like last night.
as they were getting their arses kicked
Yeah.
by NC
Yes.
Wilmington. uh, well, there again, the show
I
continues
mean,
its descent
put
into
it
the
this
gutter.
way. Put it this way. That's better than what the actual Camels did last night.
Although I will introduce this into the discussion. Okay, so as they were getting their asses handed to them by NC Wilmington, I was having a discussion with my daughter. I said, "Hey, we're playing it. Mark Zinno and I played a team tonight called the Fighting Camels." I'm like, "I don't think camels fight, do they?" She informed me
No.
that the males will sometimes fight over to get a mate, to get the female camels. That does happen. So there are fights in the camel community.
So what you're telling me here is camels will fight each other. See what I did there?
Apparently, it happens. I don't have it on tape. I have not ordered that on pay-per-view,
Yeah.
but apparently it does happen in the
And,
mind
and
of one
apparently,
7-year-old.
apparently, I've been forced to move to a different state after yesterday's performance.
You didn't lose your home, did you?
I didn't. I'm traveling for the military,
Yes.
so I am remote.
Oh,
But
wait, no. There we go.
good enough, close enough. Yeah, much closer than the Camels were last night.
Yes. All right. We are actually going to move away from college basketball here on Friday's show. We're going to give you 2 NBA plays and something special, Mark Zinno, in my half of the double play. I can't wait to do
you
this.
want to go first? Do you want to go first?
Would you like me to? I guess it'd be weird if we went NBA than what I have to offer, then back to the NBA. That wouldn't be much symmetry. So let me start things off because I'm going to be pretty honest with you. I don't know if I've been this excited to talk about a play on the Morning Wager ever. And it is about time that I brought soccer back to the program.
Well, last time you did that, we bet it and won.
Yes, and I remember the first time we did it, you got up and left the room. You were so I surprised you with the soccer pick. I did the old end around with Joe Ranieri. I said, "Watch Mark lose his mind." That play won too. So
okay. So where are we going today?
We're going to go to the FA Cup. Okay. Aston Villa hosting Cardiff City.
What?
Follow along here. There will be a quiz afterwards. Now let's take a look at Aston Villa. Okay.
You keep talking. I'm going to look for this stupid bet because.
All right. Well, you look for it. I will break it down. Let me tell you what you'll be betting on. Aston Villa, okay? They are in the midst of a tough run of matches. On Tuesday in the Premier League, okay, domestic action, they lose 4-1 to Crystal Palace. Following the match I'm about to break down here, this FA Cup match against Cardiff City, they got to go to Belgium next Tuesday to face Bruges in the Champions League. That's 3 different competitions they're involved in, Mark Zinno, in an 8-day span. We call that a fixture pileup in soccer handicapping. For those unfamiliar with the FA Cup, this is what it is, okay? It's a season-long tournament, the longest running in all of Europe, not just England. It starts with 124 teams, everybody from the top 4 divisions of English football. There's obviously tiers. You have the first tier, which is the Premier League. Okay. Second tier championship, third level League One. That's where Wrexham is. Fourth level League Two. Okay? We are now down to the final 16 after starting with 124. The allure of this whole deal, Zinno, is you get some of these lower level teams getting a shot at the big boys and a chance to pull the upset. And that's what we have here. Aston Villa, okay, hosting Cardiff City. Cardiff City is a second-tier side that, quite frankly, is not having the best of seasons. As a matter of fact, they're in a relegation battle in the championship. They're close to dropping to the third tier. But that doesn't matter.
Isn't that what happened to Ted Lasso's team?
I don't think that he was in the English level of football, but maybe.
But they dropped down. They got pushed down because they win enough games.
That is relegation. That is what we're looking to avoid. Anyway, considering this fixture pileup I mentioned for Aston Villa, this is being the second of 3 matches in 8 days, and arguably their least important. The Champions League's the biggest deal in all of Europe. The Premier League is obviously a big deal. If they dropped out of this thing, Zinno, I don't think they'd care that much. They are ripe for a letdown, and they're dealing with injuries at the moment, key injuries, including their top goalkeeper. He did not play Tuesday, which was played a big role in them giving up 4 goals to Crystal Palace. I'm not saying Villa's going to lose Friday at 2:45 Eastern, but we can get +2 on the spread with Cardiff City, and I will take that. Cardiff City is going to show up here. All we need them to do is stay within a goal, and we cash. Cardiff City +2, my half of the double play.
Okay, I found it. I found it. I bet it. I have no idea what I just did. And if you lose on Monday, I will publicly flog you in front of the entire Morning Wager audience.
You can take it. You gave me a compliment.
For the first time ever in the history of this show, physical violence is being threatened.
It's a little uncalled for. I can take the insults, but I don't want you to hit me. Remember the first time I met you?
It's not me who's going to do it. I'm going to send a guy. I'm going to send somebody to your house.
Oh, he's probably not as strong as you. So actually, that would be a downgrade. I could probably take that.
He will have a bat.
Oh, I don't like that.
He'll have a weapon. So just don't lose.
That. Okay.
If I'm going to bet your stupid soccer plays, and the Morning Wager audience is going to bet your stupid soccer plays,
you've won the 2 I've given you so far. Okay. You are 2-0 lifetime betting soccer.
You better make it 3 in a row.
Do it.
Some people can win 3 in a row. Me until
I'd
yesterday.
Like to be one. Okay. First time I ever met Mark Zinno, everybody. This is a true story. Mark will corroborate this. I walked into the sports book at Turning Stone in upstate New York. I had never met him before in my life. I looked at him and said, "Remind me not to arm wrestle you later." That is how I introduced him. True story.
We had a fair amount of cocktails at that point. All I kept hearing about is this phantom BP guy. BP.
I had it. That's just how I normally talk. Imagine walking up to someone and saying that completely sober. All right. Yeah. Cardiff City +2.
And then I begged you for the Tennessee head coach's phone number.
That was Arkansas's, but that's
Arkansas. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
I was screaming at the TV. Somebody tell this coach to tell these guys to stop shooting threes. BP turns around and looks at me and goes, "I don't have his phone number."
Good times. Indeed. Yeah. All right. Enough soccer. Enough walking down memory lane. Let's get back to the task at hand. Let's get back to the NBA. Mark Zinno, you are going to start your half of the double play. The Denver Nuggets are playing the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons dealt us a loss earlier in the week with a best bet. They really stuck it to the Celtics. We've got to play on Celtics Cavs coming up later in the show, too, our best bet segment. But you think it is now time, we're serious this time, about fading the Pistons.
Yeah. The Nuggets played last night and lost. So they are coming off a loss. They're in a back-to-back. Look, I'm not going to overcomplicate this. Like, there are certain times I'll buy into a streak and times I'll play against it. I'm not doing anything more here than betting on the fact that the Pistons are not going to win 9 straight games, including beating the defending champs and the defending champs from 2 years ago in back-to-back games. That's really what it boils down to. Like, I'm not going to overthink this. The Detroit Pistons are a great story. They're a lot of fun. They had a huge game last night. They have to be set up for a little bit of a letdown here at some point in time. Can they keep winning? Are they going to win every single game? They have a light game on deck coming up on Saturday. They're on a back-to-back against Brooklyn. So they may expend a ton of energy here, but again, expended a ton of energy in beating the Boston Celtics. So I'm at that point where I'm willing to play against this streak. We talked the other night when they played against Boston about all the weak teams that they beat along the way. They beat a good team in Boston. Let's give them credit. I'll bet against the fact that they're not going to do it 2 times in a row and beat 2 good teams. Obviously,
We'll wait till we should have tipped to make the bet because we don't know who's playing.
Yeah, okay, I get it, right? Denver might be resting some folks. Make sure we get a good Denver lineup. Make sure Jokic is in there, and you're getting a full complement before you make the wager. But this thing is sitting around 1 or 1.5. I mean, just take Denver on the money line, swallow the juice. Don't even worry about it. And Denver theoretically should come out on top, and the 9-game win streak finally comes to an end here. This is a Nuggets team, by the way, who's now 18-13 on the road. The Pistons are just 16-13 at home this year. So they've actually been better on the road than they have been at home. It's the fun for the Pistons finally comes to an end, and we'll back the Nuggets here to get a win.
Pistons will not be firing on all cylinders.
Oh, God, you did it again.
I had to. All right.
I know you did. I know you did.
Hit us with a thumbs up if you are rolling with the Denver Nuggets on Friday night. Give us 2 thumbs up if you're rolling with Cardiff City Friday afternoon. One more time.
Where the hell is Cardiff City? Where is it?
It's on the other side of the pond, the other side of the
Yeah, thank you. Would you like to narrow that down a little bit?
Cardiff City, it's in England.
Okay.
Like where? Like what part of? I've never been to England. I'll be honest with you.
Stop being obtuse about it.
To break up the
Just
map?
say I don't know. It's in England. I don't know where it is. I mean, usually when I bet on a team,
it's technically in Wales. So
okay.
My wife studied in Wales, believe it or not.
Remember the Wales conference in hockey? Remember that way back in the day?
Yeah. What was the other one? Campbell.
Yeah. Speaking of Campbell, there they go again. Campbell fighting camels are in North Carolina, where there absolutely are no camels.
You know what? Am I showing my age here? I liked it when hockey had the names, the for the divisions, the Norris division, the Adams,
and the
Patrick.
That's where the Adams were. That's right, the Patrick division. Yeah, who those names were, I don't know.
Yeah, that was dumb. They just got rid of them east and just like the rest. I don't think hockey's been the same since they got rid of those names.
Hockey hasn't been the same since Gary Bettman showed up, but that's a different station.
Don't like Gary Bettman.
Nobody likes Gary Bettman.
Yeah,
Gary Bettman's wife doesn't even like Gary Bettman.
Is he married?
I don't know. But if he could screw up the NHL, he can certainly screw up a marriage. So he sucks.
The Whale, they beat Vancouver maybe once or twice in a lifetime.
Yeah, good reference in Mallrats. There you go.
There we go. All right, show best bet.
Boston. Was that? What was that? Which one? It was Mallrats.
It was Mallrats. It's when Jason Lee is sitting in bed with Shannon Doherty.
Right.
I watched that movie with my wife, and my wife agreed with everything Shannon Doherty said. And I said, "We're not watching this anymore. You're not playing right." She's the bad guy. Yes. All right.
Bam. Pull the pin stage. Come down. Let's go smoke a fat bowl.
Yeah, well, okay. That's after the show.
That was Bryan Powell's high school experience.
Yes, it was. Mallrats is probably a top 5 in terms of movies I've seen the most. Mallrats is in my top 5 for sure. All right.
It's one of those when it's on, you don't stop watching it.
No, it's nonstop hilarious.
And the debate about the cookie in the food court and independent snacking and in the food court.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I gave someone a stink bulb once. That's a true story. All right. Just saying.
Would you care that that Volk team was against at this point in case they're watching at some point?
No, the person's not watching. The person's not.
So then say who it is.
I can't. You wouldn't know. All right. Let's talk about the Cleveland Cavs and the Boston Celtics, shall we?
Yeah. You know who's due for a stink palm at this point in time? Damn Cleveland Cavaliers. Another team won 8 in a row. We're just smacking. We're walking right in front of winning streaks today.
Yeah, this is a good basketball team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. As you mentioned, they've won 8 straight. Who was the last team to beat them, though, Mark Zinno?
Would that be the Boston Celtics?
It was the Boston Celtics on February the 4th. The Boston Celtics come into this game off the aforementioned loss in Detroit. Now, if you've been following along the NBA season, you know that the Boston Celtics have lost back-to-back games all of one time.
Once.
And that was on Christmas, ironically enough. It is not Christmas on Friday. It is February 28th. By the way, happy February. I know it was a good month for you, Mark, last day of the month. So Boston, a team that does not lose back-to-back games very often, only once all season, laying a short number in a high-profile game, top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference. It pains me. It hurts my heart to say this, but we're going with the guys in green for our show best bet.
Yeah, I mean, you have to believe that Joe Mazzulla and company are not happy with the way they played against the Detroit Pistons, and that they would have a better effort. Look, the Celtics have won. Say again.
No, Jaylen Brown in that game that hurt us, obviously, in that play. That was a part of the reason.
Because
you got to wait till right before a tip to make the bet because they know who's playing.
Look, the last time the Celtics and Cavs played in Boston, it was a 120-117 win for the Celtics. Be prepared to watch them rain down threes. In that game, Boston shot 53.7% from beyond the arc. They pretty much led the entire game. Never really got close a couple times, but never really relinquished it. They had a big fat lead at some point in the third quarter of somewhere around 19, I think it was, or 21 it was. So I'm just going to bank on the fact here that Boston, again, isn't going to lose 2 in a row. It's some handicaps, guys, don't have to be highly scientific or backed with numbers or anything. I'm willing to step in front of the streak here, given the matchup for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And look, Cleveland is certainly, held up their end of the bargain this year and done everything. But let's just get Boston here to show up and play after a game that they didn't play very well in. I think they bounce back, and we end up getting a win for Boston here, and we'll lay the 2.5. I think it's one of those games where, it feels like Boston would make a statement game, or they might lose the thing outright. But I'm leaning towards a statement game here.
Game against Detroit, Mark, was just the 5th time all season that the Celtics did not score 100 points. How have they done off the previous 4? They scored 118, 120, 121, and 122. Pretty consistent. Here's another crazy stat for you. In this loss to the Pistons, the Celtics made only 12 2-point shots.
Wow.
That was right down there. I think it was the second fewest number of 2-point makes in franchise history. The Boston Celtics have been around for quite some time, guys. And look, when you're talking about the Celtics with the Cavs, I'll add this, Mark, 3-point variance. You can add this into any basketball handicap, pro or college, in the year 2025. It comes down to 3-point variance, especially with these two teams. These teams jack it up from 3 at the highest rates in the league. So you're watching this game. If one team's hot from 3 and one team's not, I mean, that's probably going to dictate the outcome. But the Celtics, coming off a rare offensive stinker in a loss, the history, at least this season, suggests they will bounce back and cover the spread against my Cleveland Cavaliers. You hate to see it, but sometimes you bet with your head. You bet with your head, not with your heart.
I am hopeful that your old man is going to be rage texting you at some point tomorrow around 8:30-ish, telling you what an awful team this Cleveland Cavaliers team is and how they can't win anything and they should fire the coach. And, again, I'd love to get hammered with your old man.
That happens. I believe actually was the last time they played Boston. He goes, "Why does such a dark cloud hang over this town? We will never win anything." I think that was what he actually sent me. I said, "Dad, you're being dramatic."
Yes. Yeah. The apple doesn't fall far, obviously. So
I'm not a very dramatic individual. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. We still got that deal going on in college basketball. We did not talk any college basketball, but rest of the season, less than $5 per day. You can get down with Mark, myself, both of us. What a nice treat that.
By the way, those are acceptable packages to buy because they only last a month, right? You know what they don't last? A whole freaking year.
You should get. You should. Do you know what I think we would love? I would love for you to meet your 1-year subscriber, like in person.
That's what I'm saying. Like we should have him as a guest on the show. Show yourself.
Who are you?
I want to pick his brain about what he was thinking. Maybe it's a she. What the individual was thinking, and really kind of evaluate some of their life decisions, because that would be my next thing. I'd like to start to ask you.
Wait a minute. We have figured out who it was. Reveal yourself.
It was her. Thank you for all the love. That's
am I allowed to give away this bonus lacrosse pick, by the way, Dan?
Sure.
Or are you saving that for someone? Marist plus 7.5 against Denver.
Yeah.
Am I saying this correctly?
The Red Foxes.
The Red Foxes, not Red Fox, but the Red Foxes. Marist.
Yes.
The MAC. Adam Trigger's home conference. There you go.
Yeah.
Little bonus.
I don't want to expound upon it. I don't want to ruin the magic.
Denver is an elite lacrosse program. However, the Metro Atlantic in the Northeast has a very, very high concentration of very talented lacrosse players. When you talk about the Baltimore, D.C. area up to Long Island, and Marist is in Poughkeepsie, which is just north.
This is true, but it just has more to do with the fact that Denver has to play 2 games this weekend, so I don't think they're all that interested in just blowing out Marist on Friday. This is just a simple math equation. Like I think they're going to take the foot off of the gas. Though that was good. That was good breakdown of the lacrosse hotbeds there by Mark Zinno.
Well, I grew up in the lacrosse hotbed. I mean, they asked me to play lacrosse in high school. You would have been an
animal. You would have been an animal.
So I grew up with football. Lacrosse was not really.
Yeah.
And after my football season, the lacrosse players came up to me and asked me, "Hey,
what we do.
We'd like you to play lacrosse. What do you think?" I said, "I've never played it. I mean, obviously I know the sport, and I went to a practice and I watched as guys swung a stick at another person's head. And I looked at the guy and said, that's not a penalty. Cause I played hockey forever, right? I grew up on skates, right? Cause I know in hockey, if you swing your stick at another player's head, you go to the box, 2 minutes all by yourself. You feel shame. And then you get free. And so I looked at him, I said, that's not illegal. And they were like, no, it's totally. I'm like, okay, well, this is stupid. I'm not going to allow another person to swing a stick at my head and not get a penalty.
So the rules have changed a bit. I feel. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that would be deemed legal.
I mean, they were just like whacking the guy in the side of the head as he's sitting there cradling with a ball, and the guy's hitting him in the side.
That should be a penalty.
That's not illegal. And they're like, no, you're good. I'm like, yeah. I don't need any more concussions. I was a maniac on the football field and got enough concussions there. So. But I ended up calling lacrosse games for almost a decade.
Look at that.
Because
I know what the people want, BP. Maybe I should give you more lax plays because we're learning a lot a our friend and colleague, Mark Zinno.
I'll tell you what. Listen, do you have a Wikipedia page? Is this on it?
I don't have a Wikipedia page, thank God.
Oh.
And a friend of mine showed me that, like, if you ask about me on ChatGPT, I don't know who the hell did this, but I talked to Mr. GPT because there's some things out there about me that I would like to disagree with. But anyway, so I know a lot about lacrosse, and I could actually handicap it very well.
Okay, I want to wrap this show.
I think your year subscriber is looking for more lacrosse plays. I think that's what the year subscriber really wants.
We have to find it. I really want to get this person on the show. Like right after college basketball season, I'd like to. No, it's not Patty yourself. No, it's not her.
That is her.
You not buy a year.
She's on the show.
Patty, you could buy a year.
Subscribe to a year or something else.
Patty, you could buy a lifetime subscription. I'm still not sleeping with
you. Just cold-hearted, man. Woman,
that was rude.
The woman poured her heart and soul out to you, and that's what you say to her here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Just shutting her down.
Listen, it's a quality program.
Hey, Patty Johnson, no offense, is the definition of a slump buster.
We know all about slump busters on this show. There are some definitive things we know about. Slump busters, accountability, and soccer and lacrosse.
Here we go. What else do you need?
Give the people what they want.
All right, everybody. If you have got comments,
we're going to have a good college card on Saturday. I'm going to have a good college card on Saturday. I've already looked at it. Like, I'm very excited about it. I'm probably not going to do any college basketball tonight because the card isn't good. But Saturday, we're going to have a good card. Very excited about it.
The Power 5 will return, by the way, for Friday. I took Thursday off because I did the college basketball show. I'm not asking you to listen to it. Just how about some support for your friend?
Why?
I plugged the morning wager on it. I plug you.
Just watch this show. It's better.
Why? Because you're on it?
Yes. You figured it out.
Very arrogant thing to say. It's a very arrogant thing to say.
If the Power 5 together, it would be the Power 10.
Oh, so you're worth 5. You okay. Well, I don't know. I'll talk to somebody about that. But anyway, that'll be back Friday. I'll talk a multitude of sports. I'll have one Saturday talking that college.
And the light behind me is flashing.
Yeah, it is. I know. Are they coming after some of your verbiage yesterday's show? Maybe they're coming to get you. All right, everybody. Smash the like button, comment down below, do all that stuff, hit subscribe.
And if you're making 50 plays a week.
Patty, Patty, Mark, it's time to make. Are you making whoopee? All right, there we go, everybody. We'll talk to you on. All right. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Mark Zinno, cash is tickets. Always got my back.